Hello everybody and welcome to the AFL preliminary finals tips and predictions video for 2025. I'm your host Matt here, joined by Uncle. How are we?
Good. How you going?
Doing good this week, Uncle?
Yeah, having a good week. When your team's still going, it's always a good week in the footy, isn't it? It's always exciting.
Yeah. What's it like? Of course, last week's tips weren't that great for me. I think I got one out of the two. You got both right, I think. Yes, you went Brisbane as well. So now we're down to just 4 teams, Uncle. Just going to bring that up. We've got the path here for the premiership. Adelaide out in straight sets. Go us. Brisbane defeating Gold Coast both games this weekend were pretty comfortable, I thought. Both teams, both Hawthorn and Brisbane, did it somewhat comfortably. So kind of scary, but could mean that we get a couple good games this weekend. So, alright, well, without further ado though, let's get into it, I guess. We've got first game, Geelong versus Hawthorn at the MCG, 7:40 Friday night. Geelong are pretty good odds, $1.50 based to $2.50, so they're quite heavy favourites a little bit. I reckon it'll be a lot closer than that. Hawthorn, if there's going to be a team that finishes 8th to win the premiership, it'd be this Hawthorn team, I think. Kind of a weird... I just don't know how good Geelong will actually do. I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical of Geelong. I'm going to go Hawthorn. Yeah, I'm going to go Hawthorn. Hawthorn into the grand final. But I just don't want to see Geelong win it. It'd be nice to not see Geelong win it. I think it'd be a cracker, though. Hawthorn were really good. Newcomb was amazing. He's been the number 1 rated out of all 4 finals games he's played so far in his career.
Incredible, isn't it?
He's a September stud. So I think it'd be cracker. We'll see what Geelong can come up with after their break, though. But I think Hawthorn are just rocking and rolling. They've got a lot of momentum behind them.
They do, yeah. My favourite player when I was a kid, as a Hawthorn supporter, was Lee Matthews. And if there's someone that reminds me of Lee Matthews, it's John Newcomb. He's solid. He wears the number 3. He can't be tackled. He's good with his skills. He's very good. So he's probably one of my favourite players at the Hawks at the moment. So I was actually going to tip Geelong. It's hard to gauge their form because we've talked about it a bit on the stream about how easy opponents they have and they've won. So it's hard to gauge what sort of strength they've got against good opponents. But they certainly did the job 2 weeks ago. It's always also unknown as to how they had 2 weeks off. They played 1 game essentially in 4 weeks just about. So, or 3 weekends, 4 weeks on Friday night. So, is that good or bad for a team? I'm not sure. You sort of tend to like the run of a team that keeps playing in a way. Brisbane did it last year. They played all 4 weeks going into the grand final. Looked pretty good. So, in that respect, I tend to favour the Hawks, but. Just some stats for you. In finals games since 1980, Hawks are 6-2 against Geelong. They're just in pure finals games. The last final they played was the quarterfinal in 2016, which Geelong won by 2 points. And the last 10 at the MCG favours Geelong 6-4. So, it's hard. My head's telling me Geelong.
Yeah.
My heart's telling me Hawthorn. So... for the sake of the stream, I'm going to tip with my head and go with Geelong, but I really give us a pretty good chance to win this. I think the winner of this game will win the grand final. I'll say that pre the event too. So if you think that, then instead of putting money on the team to win this weekend, put the same amount of money on that team to win the flag, because I think the winner is going to come out of this game. The Hawks are $5 to win the flag, and Geelong is $2.30 or something like that. So you're actually getting better odds for this team to win the flag than this game. So that's my little gambling tip for the stream. But I'm going to go Geelong, but I really give ourselves a really good chance.
I would too. I think you guys are cracking. Geelong, they proved me wrong in that first week when I was I don't really know what they're like against top 8 teams, considering They only versed nobodies in that first week, and then came out and I reckon dominated Brisbane.
Yeah, they did.
They could have won by a lot more than they actually did, which is kind of scary. So we'll see how they go in the second week against, again, another strong opponent. You're only going to get strong opponents from here on out. The last 4 teams are insane. A little fun fact came out. The AFL, or Champion Data, said every team leading at quarter time has won the game in this final series.
Is that right?
And there's no one that's come from behind after quarter time. Everyone there's no been back or forth between the second and the third quarter. Whoever was leading at the first quarter was leading at halftime and 3/4 time and the end of the game in every single finals game this year, apparently.
That's incredible.
I think that'd be a first. I don't remember ever seeing something like that. So see if that streak continues. That'd be interesting. If Hawthorn can get themselves an early lead, explode out of the gate like they did against Adelaide, we could.
GWS, they did it in both games. They just started clean out of the blocks and kicked 2 or 3 goals. In the first 5 minutes, both games. So yeah, for sure,
it's amazing. So we'll see what happens. But then, of course, the other way, if Geelong start off the same, it could be into Hawthorn. I thought it was quite interesting. Last week we discussed Hawthorn and Adelaide. Whoever would win the midfield battle would win the game. I think we were both correct there. Hawthorn dominated that middle part and dominated the game because of it. And of course, the only other game, Saturday at 5:15, enough time that if Brisbane do win, they can fly home still on the same night and start their recoveries the next day. So Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG again. All games from here on are at the MCG. So it's hard to see Collingwood losing at the G again. I personally think that the weeks off, like you said, have done them well. I think they had a form slump, so did Hawthorn, but now they're peaking back, which I think was probably the wrong time for Adelaide, because they're hitting their form slump now, which is, you never want to do that, whereas I think Collingwood and Hawthorn have timed theirs to perfection in a way. Not that you time form slumps, but yeah, so I'm going to go Collingwood, but Brisbane, I don't know how close it's going to get without Chalky Neal in the middle. I really don't know. I think Will Ashcroft stood up this past week. I thought he played a really good game as well, but no one's going to be able to bring that finals experience and that midfield power that Lachie Neale does. I think Collingwood's midfield will get on top of them just because of that. I did think the same last week. I wasn't too sure. Gold Coast usually have a really good midfield, but Brisbane were able to still keep on top of them. But I think Collingwood's that next step above. So their game plans are usually out and about, and then they dominate through that. So we'll see what actually happens, but I'm going to go Collingwood.
Yeah, Dunkley really blanketed Rail, didn't he? Who's Dunkley going to go to this week? Who's their standout midfielder that Dunkley will take out of the game to work for him?
I mean,
they've never got one, have they?
Nick Dacos,
I suppose. he's going to be
Brownlow favourite. Yeah, I think
Dunkley's
he's
not
probably
going
to. I reckon that too. You could possibly go to maybe Pendlebury, or a Josh Dacos, depending on where they play him. I think they kind of tend to float around their taggers a bit, though. As in Collingwood, if someone's tagged, they usually try and push them in different positions and break the tag and then bounce off through there. So we'll see how that actually goes. I think that'll be quite interesting on how they play.
Yeah, it will be, because Brisbane don't really hard tag. Like Dunkley played on Rowell and just sort of covered him, but he got 25 odd possessions himself, Dunkley. So he's not a negative tagger without doing anything himself. He's a positive tagger. So yeah, the matchups will be interesting. Will Cox play again? He'd have to, wouldn't he? I suppose he's shown he's the man for September for Collingwood.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone seemed to be more than happy with his performance. I was like, I thought it was just an average game, but I guess that's a good game for Cox. It's an average game.
Yeah, they seem to think he had a good game because he bought everything he went for a mark. He bought to ground.
Yeah,
I don't know how you consider that a good game, but
take a mark, mate.
Yeah, McStay could probably do that as well. Bring it to ground every contest if you wanted to. Look, I'm going to go Brisbane, actually. I'm going opposite you in both games. I think their form line was a little bit better last week. I know Collingwood beat Adelaide pretty well the week before, but I actually think their old team, whilst the 1 week break was good for them, I don't think the 2 week break will be good for them. Geelong, I think, are a bit younger, so they can play one game in 4. Okay, I don't think Collingwood can with their age. I think they'll need that continuity. So for that reason, I'm going to go Brisbane. I think they're back to their best. If they play at their best, even if Collingwood plays at their best, I think Brisbane will beat them.
Yep.
If they're both hitting their best. That's me. So, yeah, without any real logic there, I'm just going to go for Brisbane. My family all go for Collingwood, so I hope they win and get to the grand final for their sake. But I think it'll be a Geelong-Brisbane grand final. And hope for a Hawthorn-Collingwood grand final.
Hawthorn-Collingwood would be absolutely hysterical at my house with Rav and Josh both going to be there. So yeah, that could be a very interesting grand final watch party. But yeah, I could see any team winning from here. So it's really hard to choose.
Well, the last 3 years grand finalists, plus Hawthorn, who have been one of the most successful sides ever. So they're 4 sides that are so used to finals, it's not going to daunt them or overawe them at all, like we can sometimes see with teams. They are going to be 2 full houses at the MCG, 95,000. It's going to be magic. 2 magic games.
Well, I mean, you have a look at since 2000, I think these 4 teams have probably taken home close to 80% of premierships in the last 25 years or so.
It's crazy. Like, I think 17 out of 21 or something they've been in the grand final. It's winners ridiculous. Or losers, they've been in the grand final. It's ridiculous, really.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, well, there's the tips anyway. So feel free to join us on Friday night and Saturday twilight. We'll be streaming both of those games. And just to let you guys know that we will be streaming the Brownlow on Monday night, so make sure to join us there. That'll be our last stream for the season. Of course, we've got next week's grand final tipping video, but that'll be the last for the AFL season. We've only got 3 streams and 1 more video after this, so seasons come up pretty quickly, I think. Hopefully bigger and greater things for next year, though. So,
question before you go.
Yep.
What do you think the grand final should be at this time? Where the Collingwood-Brisbane game is playing, that should be the grand final time, shouldn't it?
I don't know. I like the current time it's at. I like the day.
You like the 2 o'clock time?
I like it. I mean, still, it's early enough for families, because when you got young kids, they possibly wouldn't make it to the end of the game at a night game. It's a bit hard. I think you got to start it after 7 or have it finished before 6. I think news-wise programming wouldn't want your news programs. I reckon TV rights wouldn't want their news fucked around with. I reckon that's probably part of it. I like the daytime though. I like it just after lunch. You don't have to wait around all day for it to start. I like that. You kind of just get out after lunch and it's already there. The pre-entertainment starting. So I like it at the daytime. And then afterwards, you can game will finish about 6 and stuff. You can then go and get ready, have some dinner, get ready, and then you can go out and celebrate. I think I like it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you all Friday. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Love you all. Look after yourselves. Bye.